LaPiedra struck out 11. Jonathan India was an RBI machine, and the Reds rolled the Cubs 5-3. Today is Green Day with Hunter Greene on the bump for the Reds at Wrigley Field. We're also going to look today at some minor league promotions that you may not have seen coming, and we will also check in with how we did yesterday with recovering some of our over-under money at betonline.com. We've got all that and more today on Locked On Reds. Let's go.
You are Locked On Reds, your daily Cincinnati Reds podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Reds. Thanks for making Locked On Reds your first listen of the day. We are part of the Locked On Podcast Network, and we are free and available on all podcasting platforms. I'm your host, Stephen Offenbaker. My co-host, Jeff Carr, is off today, so I will be flying solo. I have a passion for baseball. I have a passion for the Cincinnati Reds, and I've taken that passion and I've turned it into information for you. On today's podcast, I'm going to take a look at the Reds' 5-3 win in Chicago last night, led by a fantastic performance from Luis Castillo. Also get you set for Hunter Greene Day as he takes the mound for the Reds. And finally, we're going to check in the minor leagues. There was a promotion yesterday that you might not have seen coming that I think has some interesting implications. Today's episode is brought to you by the Sports Cards Investor app. Download the app today to see the value of more than 630,000 cards, all right in the palm of your hand with the Sports Card Investor app. I want to start with LaPiedra and just his dazzling performance in the Windy City against the Chicago Cubs. Luis Castillo went 6 innings, allowed 5 hits while striking out 11. He struck out 11 batters in those 6 innings, only walked 3, gave up 0 earned runs. Now, if you watch the game, you did see that when he got to the 6th inning, it became a battle. Luis Castillo actually had to dig deep and work hard. As a matter of fact, he threw more pitches yesterday than he's ever thrown in a single game in his career. He threw over 120 pitches. It was really a battle. Bases were loaded there in the bottom of the 6th inning, and it looked like he might be in real trouble. At one point, Derek Johnson came out and talked with him for a minute, and DJ goes back to the dugout, and David Bell stuck with Castillo, and really want to give David Bell some credit there, because I think that's what you got to do. You have to trust your big gun. I'm sure when Derek Johnson went out there to check on him, Luis Castillo told him that he was fine. And at some point, you just have to trust that your pitcher is telling you the truth. And if he says he's going to be able to get out of it, he's going to be able to get out of it. And that's exactly what he did. At one point, he struck 6 Cubs batters out in a row. It was a tremendous performance, and what was probably a showcase for Luis Castillo as we really get into Hug Watch 2022 season here. I think that the other GMs around the league were paying attention and looking to see just how Luis Castillo is performing. And this was a pretty dazzling performance. If you're a GM for any other team in Major League Baseball that's looking for a starting pitcher, I think that Luis Castillo really showed you that he could be a guy to help get you to the postseason and help you be successful in the postseason. There were some that are questioning David Bell allowing Castillo to throw over 120 pitches in a game that really doesn't mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things as far as the season goes. The Cubs and the Reds are battling for 4th place in the division, and it doesn't mean very much. But I think that when you let him go in this isolated situation, I think it shows the other teams that are interested in him, his ability to dig deep, his ability to battle, his ability to not let the adversity get to him. And I think that's great. Now, I'm not saying that every start the rest of the way, Castillo should be allowed to throw 120, 130 pitches. That's just crazy. You don't want to risk hurting him. But in this isolated incident, I think it was a good call. I think David Bell did the right thing in letting him battle through that. And let's face it, there is nobody down in that bullpen that was going to come in and pitch better than a tired Luis Castillo was in the 6th inning. We saw what happened when Joel Kuhnel came in the next inning. He gave up 3 runs. So it's just one of those things where you just have to trust your guy. And, I really do think that it was a good move by David Bell. I think that for David Bell to be able to look the rest of his team in the eye and tell them to go out there and play hard and tell them that the Reds are in fact trying to win games, you have to leave Luis Castillo in the game there. And it was absolutely the right call. As I mentioned, Castillo gets through the sixth with 11 strikeouts. Joe Kunal comes in to pitch the seventh inning, and the wheels come off a little bit. You really cannot have enough runs when you go to this Reds bullpen. Thankfully, Jonathan India's 3-run homer really became a difference maker in this game, because Joe Kunal comes into the game. He allows 3 runs and finally escapes that jam. Art Warren comes in and pitches an 8th inning, not allowing any runs. He gets the hold. And then I guess the Reds' new closer is Hunter Strickland. And yeah, boy, I really don't know about that. But he does come in and pitch a solid 9th inning for the save. And the Reds get out of there with that 5-3 victory. Uh, the bullpen continuing to be the biggest area of uncertainty for this Reds team that really continues to just struggle to find its way. Offensively, as I mentioned, Jonathan India demonstrated some power. He had a 3-run home run in this game. We talked yesterday, Jeff and I did, about how hard Nick Senzel has been hitting the ball, how I feel like Senzel is coming around, and that maybe the reports of his demise have been greatly exaggerated, and that he could still be a valuable contributor to this team. And he went out and stung one to deep center, just missed a home run. Ball ends up in the ivy, but it looked for just a minute like that ball was going to be gone. And I think Senzel continues to put it together. He's been healthy. He looks like he's comfortable. And I do believe that that's going to continue with him. That ball that went to the wall really should have been a double. It went as a single simply because Amora was on base in front of him at first. He had to hold up to see if that ball was going to be caught or not. And ultimately that kept Senzel at a single versus the double that he should have had. Sorry, a little technical difficulty there. At any rate, I really enjoyed watching Luis Castillo pitch yesterday. Uh, we don't know how many more of these starts we're going to get from him. So, I'm going to enjoy each and every pitch that he throws the rest of the way as a member of the Cincinnati Reds. I would anticipate he gets at least another start or two. I think it's still probably a little bit early in this process to think that he's going to get traded away. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. So I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts, for sure. Coming up, we're going to talk about Hunter Greene. He brings a lot of value to the Reds rotation right now. And if you want to know the value of Hunter Greene's rookie card, I suggest you head over and download the Sports Card Investor app right now. It's completely free. It's easy to browse. Over 630,000 cards from every sport, with hundreds more added each and every week. You can check out the latest values of your favorite cards with 7-day and 30-day charts. You can find the best prices and buy directly through the app with our eBay deals feature. Whether you're a casual card collector or looking for exciting alternative investment opportunities, the free Sports Card Investor app has something for you. They've got breakout stars or prospects debuting. You can check the value of those cards for all of the rookies that have hit the league this year. If you were holding on to a Jonathan India rookie card, the reigning National League Rookie of the Year, you can look that card up and get the exact pricing for that card if you're looking to move it, or if you're looking to pick one up and you want to make sure that you're not overpaying. The Sports Card Investor app has you covered. If you're interested in getting into sports card, you can find great deals on your favorite players right there on the Sports Card Investor app. Head over today, download the Sports Card Investor app today. It is available for free in the Google Play and Apple app stores, or you can go to sportscardinvestor.com/locked-on and download today. Thank you for making Locked On Reds your first listen. Make sure you're following the podcast on all platforms, including YouTube. Coming up tomorrow, Jeff will be back, and he and I will review Hunter Greene's start at Wrigley Field, and we will get you set for the third and final game of this 3-game set at Wrigley Field. Speaking of Hunter Greene, he's going to take the mound, and we're really still looking for him to turn that corner and really I think it's probably a lot to ask to consider him to reach an elite level this year, but we do want to see him to continue to progress, to continue to get better. And each of his last three starts, Hunter Greene has gone 5 innings. I look for him to maybe stretch that out a little bit today at Wrigley Field with this Cubs lineup that it's not the greatest in the world. It's not a world beater. They have some solid major league hitters in there, but I think that Hunter, has a good opportunity to go deeper into this game simply because the Cubs are a little bit of free swingers. They really go after. I think Hunter's going to be able to get guys to chase. I think that's going to help him raise his strikeout totals. His strikeout numbers have been down. He's done good as far as not walking people. He's allowed 2 walks in each of his last 3 starts, but the strikeout numbers have been coming down. In fact, in his last start against the Dodgers, he only managed to strike out 3 batters in the game. Uh, Take into account also he's allowing 3.6 earned runs in each of his last 3 starts, and I think we could probably look for that to come down as well. One of those starts was against that Dodgers lineup that's just one of the best lineups pretty much ever assembled. It's hard to think that Hunter was going to go out and keep that lineup completely locked down when he's facing 3 former MVPs. It just probably was an unrealistic ask for Hunter Greene. But I think this Cubs lineup is going to allow him to right the ship, so to speak. It's going to, I think, allow him to get that strikeout total up. If he keeps the walks down, doesn't allow the long ball. The long ball has really been a big part of the problem with Hunter Greene. But I think that in this instance, as long as the wind's not blowing out at Wrigley tomorrow, and Hunter can keep the ball on the ground or just get guys to chase, strike them out. They can't hit a home run if you strike them out. And that's what we're looking for from Hunter Greene. I think, we want to see good velocity from him. We want to see good control from him. We want to see him continue to learn to pitch and not just be a hard thrower. On the offensive side of things, I think that we're fast approaching what we'll be able to point to as Nick Senzel's breakout game. As I mentioned earlier, he just barely missed a home run. I think he has a good chance to go yard in the next couple games. Playing out there at Wrigley Field, he looks comfortable. He's hitting the ball hard. And in fact, in his last several games, he's gone 9 for 19. He's really putting it together. And I think as long as his health stays the way that it is, he's going to be able to continue to improve upon that. I really wouldn't be shocked if he hits a home run today. I'm not quite ready to guarantee it or call it, but if he continues to sting the baseball the way that he has been, it's not far away. It's not far away for his power numbers to start coming in as well as the batting average and getting on base. That last day out in San Francisco, he was 3 for 3 with a walk, on base 4 times. He just continues to put it together, and I'm really excited about that. I want Nick Senzel to be successful. I want him to be part of this team for the next several years and be a contributor. And that's been in doubt because of the injuries and just the way he's performed when he has been here. But I think that we're getting there, and I'm really excited about it. I also think that we're going to see some good things from Kyle Farmer today. He did not have a great night last night. He went 1 for 5 and struck out 3 times. And, sometimes you just get a feeling about a player. And I have a feeling that Kyle Farmer is going to come out and make up for that a little bit today. I think he's going to get on base a little bit more and help spark this offense. Coming up, the Reds have announced that they have promoted a pitcher, and it might not be who you think. I'll tell you how the Reds got it right in just a minute. And if you want to get your jewelry purchase right, head over to BlueNile.com right now. Whether you're ready to pop the question or you're celebrating a milestone moment, find jewelry as unique as her with a modern convenience of online shopping at BlueNile.com. You can build the engagement ring of her dreams. Blue Nile has simple online tools that let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as the setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her perfect engagement ring. It will be a ring that's one of a kind. And if you're looking for fine jewelry to celebrate a special moment, but having trouble choosing, Blue Nile can help. They have jewelry experts on hand 24/7, available via phone or chat to help you find a memorable gift at every budget. Make your moment sparkle with jewelry from BlueNile.com. And Locked On Reds listeners can get $50 off purchases of $500 or more. This podcast exclusive includes engagement rings. So head over to BlueNile.com right now. And when you check out, use the promo code Locked On. That code again is Locked On to get $50 off your $500 or more purchase. Uh, as an added little bit of bonus there, every order that you purchase is going to be insured. It's going to ship for free, and it's going to arrive in discreet packaging so that your secret is not given away and the surprise isn't ruined. It won't give away what's inside. Shop stress-free and find your forever piece. Go to BlueNile.com today. With the ever increasing numbers of makes and models of vehicles on the road, it's impossible for your local chain auto parts store to stock all the parts you need. Why endure often pointless and seemingly intimidating questioning from your salesperson asking about your car's trim package and is it an LX or an XE and how big's the motor and how many cylinders, how much horsepower? All that stuff can really throw you off your game and you don't always know the answer. And then you have to sit there and wait while the person behind the counter orders the parts on their computer or punches all the information in to just choose the one brand that they have in the warehouse already. You have a computer with access to rockauto.com at your home and in your pocket right now. If you choose rockauto.com, you're going to be able to save 30, 50, or even 100% off of some of the prices that the chain stores and car dealerships are charging. You know, they mark those things up 30, 50, 100%. RockAuto.com has everything you can need. They have brake parts, they have tail lamps, they have motor oil, they even have new carpet. You can redo the interior of your car by going to RockAuto.com. So go to RockAuto.com right now and see all the parts available for your car or truck. When you check out, make sure you write Locked On in there. How did you hear about us section so they know that your buddies Steve and Jeff from Locked On Red sent you to them. They have amazing selection, reliably low prices, and all the parts your car will ever need. Head over to rockauto.com today. Make sure you're following the podcast on Twitter. You can follow me at S. Offenbaker right there on the screen. You can follow Jeff at Jeff Carr, and that's Jeff with 3 F's. You can also follow the show at Locked On Reds. Also, make sure you have clicked the subscribe button on YouTube if you're watching us there right now. Thank you very much. If you're in our audio feeds, head over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel because there is exclusive video content you're only going to get right there on the Locked On Reds YouTube feed. I want to talk about a promotion in the Reds minor league system. I didn't really see this one coming so soon, but I think the Reds got it right. They promoted Brandon Williamson from AA Chattanooga up to AAA Louisville. And I thought that it was going to be a little bit longer before this would happen because Brandon Williamson has continued to struggle a little bit, at least as far as handing out free passes. You know, he's walked a lot of batters. And, you know, as our good buddy Cam Miller always points out with his Riverfront Stadium scoreboard animations, walks will haunt. And some of Brandon Williamson's numbers have reflected that. In fact, in 14 starts down in Chattanooga, he's pitched 67 and a third innings. He struck out a lot of guys. Now, he struck out 74 batters in 67 innings, but he's also walked 40. If he's going to continue to move through the system this season, he's really going to need to improve on that walk rate. He's going to have to cut down the walks, increase the strikeouts even more. And if he does that, now that he's going to be at AAA, it's, you know, July in a couple days. That gives him enough time to maybe get a taste of pitching in Cincinnati at some point in time this season. And I don't necessarily think that that's a bad idea. I mean, let's face it, this Reds team is not going to make the postseason. This would be an opportunity late in the year to bring Brandon Williamson up, let him get comfortable in Cincinnati, let him figure out how things work with this big league ball club and get comfortable so that when he comes into spring training next year, he can actually battle for a spot on the team and a spot in the majors versus going back to the minors. I like this promotion. I like that the Reds are doing this right now, even though his walks are still a little bit of an issue. I think that it will give Williamson a confidence build. I think that it will allow him to continue to work on the things he needs to work on to get better. And I really do think it will ultimately lead to us maybe seeing him pitch a little bit before the season is up. Also, before we get out of here today, I did want to talk about something that Jeff and I discussed yesterday, which was trying to recover some of our over under money that we put down on the Reds taking the over. Jeff and I both thought they were going to blow right past that 73.5 win total. It does not appear that that is going to be the case. It looks like we are, in fact, going to lose that bet. So we have decided to, along the way, the rest of the season, try and find some good prop bets over at betonline.net to help recover that back. Yesterday, I told you that I thought that taking the money line for the Reds was a good bet. And I also told you, along with Jeff, that saying Luis Castillo was going to have 7 strikeouts or more was the way to go yesterday. I was 2 for 2, got both of those bets right. So I have started to recover some of that over under money, and we will continue to try and point you in the right direction as we try and point ourselves in the right direction to recover some of that over under money. But I think that's probably going to be a great spot to go ahead and wrap up today's edition of the Locked On Reds podcast. Thank you so much for being with us today. Really appreciate you downloading and giving us a listen or watching us on YouTube. Coming up on the next podcast, we will break down Hunter Greene's pitching performance, and we'll also get you set for the third and final game of this 3-game set against the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field. Thanks for making Locked On Reds your first listen. Now make the Locked On MLB Prospects podcast your second listen. Lindsey Crosby gives you a daily look at the stars of tomorrow and has the upcoming MLB draft covered from all angles. The Locked On MLB Prospects podcast is just like Locked On Reds, free and available wherever you get your podcasts, including YouTube. As we continue to move closer and closer to Hug Watch season, there's going to be breaking news. There's going to be stuff happening, and it's going to be happening fast. You can count on the Locked On Reds podcast to have you covered with all that information. Jeff and I will jump into your podcasting feeds anytime there is breaking news or anytime something special happens that needs some extra bonus coverage. Otherwise, we will be in your feed each and every day, Locked On Reds. We'll see you tomorrow.